Welcome, Aquarius, to your in-depth weekly astrology overview and zodiac forecast for week commencing the 16th of March for the ascendant, the sun, or the moon. I'm going to share with you the big themes of the week, then on screen your adventure on Monday, always influential as a backdrop. I'll then go through each of the influences frame by frame to give you a clear picture of what to expect in terms of relationships, finance, energy, and work. I'm astrologer Patrick Arundell, and a very warm welcome. If you've yet to subscribe to the channel, please do so now and help it to continue to thrive. It's a week of endings and beginnings because we have the new astrological year on Thursday. But just before that beginning, we have a fabulous radiant new moon in the sign of Pisces. Why is that? Well, we've had a series of new moons right at the end on the 28th degree of 7 zodiac signs. This is the last one, but it is going to be forging a dazzling alliance to your modern ruler, Uranus. What's the meaning of that for you? So on the screen, Aquarius, you can see that not only is there Pluto in your sign, but also the moon. Just asking you early on Monday, just to really be in tune with what you need, the principles and values you hold dear, especially around your home or emotional life. But the collective in Pisces recently has had Mercury in retrograde. Unfortunately, on Thursday, Mercury will go direct. But if you have encountered some tense conversations or even confusing ones around money or who does or contributes what, it wouldn't be a surprise. In the luminous Pisces, Mercury is debilitated. So that retrograde has been even more trying. But because Mars is very close to Mercury at the start of this week, if you're feeling frustrated at how things are being handled, someone's lack of clarity, the chances are you can be really up for saying it as it is. It's really important that you don't rush, that you do make sure your information is correct. Now, you can't see it on screen, but Black Moon Lilith is in your 11th house. Now, Black Moon Lilith can, of course, be about forbidden fruit, those desires. But in the sign of Sagittarius, its desire is really for honesty and openness. So if someone is, it seems, playing a little bit of a game around finances, that can be something which just amps up that sense of injustice. But I want you to know this, Aquarius. The sun, as it moves forwards this week, is linking with your modern ruler. Now, Uranus has led, for Aquarius people, has led to quite a lot of unsettled conditions around family life, emotions, and where and how to live over those 7 years. But the opportunity with the sun linking to Uranus now is really constructive because I think most Aquarius people like a degree of space, often personal space. So Aquarius people can be very social, but also then can need to just withdraw a little bit. And Uranus actually has probably helped that at times in recent years. But that energy there suggests if you've got a hobby, you do something from the comfort of your home, there is an opportunity to convert that into some kind of financial benefit, because the second house can be about money, but it can also be about your life foundations. But thinking about things in a fresh way around those areas can be constructive for you, particularly on the new moon in Pisces on Wednesday. However, that new moon also is very, very close to Neptune. So if you are thinking about resources, it's important to be very clear and realistic, because Neptune in the hot, arid Aries can be very creative, I feel, but also it's important, if you are generating ideas, the third house, that they're workable. But that's where Saturn can be an asset. By the end of the week, the sun is not touching Saturn, but it's creeping closer to it. They actually come into a conjunction next week in the middle of the week. But just know that Venus in the third house, which had been in contact with these two, is freer now, actually forges a lovely link with your moon at the start of this week. But your ability to share your ideas or be charming or persuasive in a way that has impact is really going to be amped up. So if you're clear about your plan and what you want to say, but also you can deliver it in a way that makes people receptive, that can actually see by the end of the week something very constructive come from what has been, I think, perhaps a couple of weeks of innate frustration. However, Venus is also forging a square to Jupiter at the end of the week. Now, because Venus is in the third house, that can be about language, discussion, conversation. The sixth house can be about work. If you are having a chat with someone, particularly in your professional situation, and you're getting on really well, one of the things I would guard against is actually saying that you'll do something through that very generous side of your nature, because it may be something that over time you do end up resenting a little bit if it becomes a chore. So to recap from an overall viewpoint, Aquarius, the moon at the start of the week is asking you to tune in and stay in touch with how you feel. Your sense of worth, your value, and how people respect you in terms of what they pay you, or if they've been late paying you, could be a hot topic at the start of the week, and you could be feeling a little bit on edge. But your creativity and ability to think outside the box and be open to different technology and trends can be very good for you over the first half of this week, particularly if you work from home or you have a home-based talent or skill that you could convert into something that creates more liberty, but also some income. The sun moving with the vernal equinox on Thursday is exciting for us all, suggesting that imagination in your thinking is important, but it really does need to be form and function. With the steady Eddy, your traditional ruler Saturn, also in touch with the sun. If there is a communication or a discussion at the end of the week, it might be a little bit serious initially, but with Venus in that third house, you can use a lot of diplomacy and charm in order to put across your point of view. And also with that right angle to Jupiter, you could be feeling quite generous, but don't be too generous if the things are flowing nicely in the conversation. Still important to be protective of what you need for you. So relationship wise, I feel that it's important that you're on the same page as far as values. If one partner has a different approach to finance, that can be a snagging point. But with Mercury going direct, some money that's been owed to you could come in by Thursday or pretty soon afterwards. You're a natural communicator, Aquarius, and Saturn over the next couple of years is going to give you a great platform to showcase your ideas. But you need to just be aware that this week, as the sun pitches up, it may be that initially things are a little tender, but charm will take you everywhere. If you've yet to watch your mid-month deep dive video, please click on the link for that. If you've yet to watch your Jupiter Direct video, please click for that. You can get your free daily horoscope fired to your device each morning. I've written these for years, and it's a great opportunity to have that celestial pit stop each morning just to think about what's going on. Please see below to sign up for that. If you'd like to work with me directly, please see my testimonials below. If you'd like to order your personal horoscopes, the 50% offer is still on. Just apply Astro 26 or Draco 26 at the checkout below, and they're incredible value, very accurate, totally unique for each person they're produced for, and at a price point that really makes them much more accessible. But the main thing about natal astrology against sun sign astrology, it's totally unique to you, and that's what makes it so gripping. Have a great week. All the best and goodbye.